All right, we're good to go. I'll give you host back.
All righty. Thanks so much, Ben.
Thank you. Have a great class, and let me know if you need anything.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Sandy.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
Watching it rain down here. Comes and goes and comes and goes.
Where are you located?
I'm in Houston.
Oh, Houston. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
We've got about 3 days of rain here, and one more to come through tonight.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
I'm kind of tired of it.
I know that's right. Oh, my goodness.
Where are you calling in from, Sandy?
Newport News, Virginia.
Oh, nice.
New Hampton. Yes.
Nice.
So it's nice here, nice and sunny and whatever. But
that's good.
Yes.
A lot of bad weather hits us, and then it goes right on through to you guys. You know?
Exactly. Comes east.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And sometimes y'all get it even worse than we do as far as the tornadoes and stuff like that goes, you know?
Yes, we do.
That makes it even harder. Yeah.
It does. Yeah. Yep, it does.
Hey, Eva.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Oh, well, thank you. I'll be right back.
Not a problem. We'll give it just a minute, Sandy, and see who else wants to jump on board here before we get started. This is a beginning Kahoot class. Have you ever had Kahoot?
No. So
okay. All right, good. Good. Because sometimes people will jump on thinking that it's going to be more advanced or play a lot of games or whatever, but this is actually a teaching how to use it. So
well, I was on yesterday.
Good.
I was under champion playing my
son. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you were moving all around the board. Yeah. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah. You were moving everywhere. I think we had maybe 11 people that signed up for this, and usually about half the number of people signing in will actually show up. Yeah, sometimes they watch it streaming on the TV channel.
Yes.
And actually, this class is live streaming too. So.
Oh, okay.
Just to let you know. So
how do you join it through live stream? Just
if you go on the Get Set Up site, you actually select the Get Set Up TV.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is, but it's really best if you log in and book the class and go in that way.
That's what I right.
Yeah, if you just hey Melinda, if you just jump onto a live learner class, I don't think you get the follow-up emails.
No, I don't think you do.
Nor
can you order the video.
Right, because you're just watching. It's like TV. You're just watching.
Right.
So yeah, so you don't get the follow-up goodies or the email or anything like that.
Exactly.
So that's why we try to tell everybody, go ahead and just book it, and even if you want to join while it's going on, but best way to do is to book it. So I know I jump on a lot of times and watch just because I want to see what else going on.
Exactly.
But then I'll get in the middle of it and I'll think, man, I should have booked this one because I'm going to miss out on all the good stuff afterwards.
Yeah. Cindy, I am back in January. I used to get everything, but the last 3 weeks, I don't get any notes. I don't get any follow-up. I don't get anything. And I have been on help, and we've been on the phone. And
okay, so and
I even at the end of the chat, I'm going, I'm not getting them. Please send it to me. The last one, I even gave them 2 email addresses.
Really?
And they still didn't follow up. So I'm just like, I don't know how to get I've given up, on getting the notes. But it's frustrating because they did tell me the way around it was to sign in and just go to my schedule, because I'm signed into all these things.
Right.
I go to my schedule right before and hit launch. So that was the other problem. I wasn't getting the notifications before.
Do you get an email when you book the class?
Oh yeah. No, okay. I mean, I've been a member, and you sign up with the email, it confirms. And but now it's not even confirming, and I've been through all my junk boxes. And like I said, I used to get it. It used to be in my junk box, but I
right.
Now I'm not.
But you don't get it at all. So if you get an email once you book the class, right, that has the link in it and everything.
I'm not even getting those.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
It's going right.
Oh, wow.
Just goes onto my schedule. And that's fine, except for the fact that I'm not getting any. I'm signed up.
Right.
And I get into the class, but I don't get any follow-up. And
no communication. Yeah.
No communication, like all the stuff that you said, I'll send you the links,
right.
all the Kahoot stuff.
Right.
And, it's kind of, you know, I mean, you can take a certain amount of notes, but
yeah, no, that's the purpose of the follow-up email. And I darn it, I sent a really good one yesterday too, and had a lot of good info for you guys. So
I was like,
yeah,
you know, and I even with yours, I left a message with text saying,
right,
I'm not in there going, I said, just send me the email. And then this morning I was with one and I said, I actually gave him another email address. And the only thing the text said was sign up again under a different email, which yes, I could do, but then all my classes are signed up under this.
I had that problem with Yahoo. I had to take and ditch my Yahoo account and go to another email account. And the other thing too is I it's an ongoing taking issue because I also have problems launching.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing issue. I was told not to use Yahoo, but I have still taken in issues with it that haven't been resolved, but eventually I get it.
Yeah.
I know that they told me I've had Comcast, but like I said, when I signed up in January, I didn't have any problems. And then I even went, and I have Comcast in my Apple Mail account. So that's how I, you know, I mean, I might have multiple email accounts and I just go to Apple Mail and everything's full. And I made sure that they were in my address book. And I even signed up online and went to the Comcast site, went into my box and actually added get set up both with it is the first name and notifications. I mean, I signed it up and put it in the address every way thinking, okay, that's going to fix it. That didn't fix it.
So you're using a Comcast email address, right?
Right. But that's
crazy.
And I used to never have problems. The biggest problem I was having, it was showing up in my junk box.
Right. That happens to a lot of people, right?
And we tried all that after a while, and I just go, okay, I'll just go to my junk box and retrieve it. And I go through the whole thing of moving everything from junk over to in to try to train the mailbox to go, this isn't junk.
Right. You know, I've never been able to use my Comcast email. I've had Comcast for, I don't know, 20 years. When it used to be, well, you know, it's Xfinity, they call it now, but I mean, and I've never been able to use my Comcast email. I just use Gmail.
10 years and no
so
problem.
Weird.
And
have you asked Comcast and tell them that if you were to call technical support in Comcast, and tell them I cannot receive emails from this email address, from anything that's from getsetup.io. Something is blocking that from getting to you. I bet you anything that's what's happening. Because I know the place that I used to work, we used to have issues like that sometimes with legitimate vendors trying to contact me and their emails would never come through. And I would have to always get our IT guys to do something with our network. So if you've not tried to call Comcast, call them and give them the specific address, getsetup.io. I can't get anything from. I bet you that's what it is. Give that a try.
Oh, I have the same problem.
Do you, Eva?
Yes, I have the same exact problem. I can get emails that come from, you know, like the advertisement or that type of stuff, but I don't get any of the notifications. I don't get any of the reminders or the class notes.
Yeah, I have to go. The other thing, Cindy, is I get the newsletter and I check it. I only want it once a week as opposed to daily.
Right.
So I'll get the newsletter from
That's crazy. Okay.
And I've even asked Tech, I go send me an email and
you can't
get
it.
Like I said, I actually signed on to Comcast because I didn't want to have to deal with the phone.
Right.
And you know, they have a lot of things that can be resolved, you know, on.
So you said we should contact our
contact your provider, Comcast. Contact Comcast and say, I cannot receive emails from this domain, getsetup.io. And tell them for some reason that you have worked with the company, they can't figure out what it is. So it's got to be on the Comcast end.
Yeah,
give it a try.
What's interesting is I actually went into the Comcast account and actually looked at my address book and realized, oh, yep, this is it's an old address book with Comcast, but it's not my Apple address.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, well, then I went in and I added it in there and I added it in two different ways, both as a last name and a first name.
I bet you anything it's a networking error on the Comcast side. And sometimes when they do upgrades, sometimes there's glitches and things happen and people's emails, addresses get screwed up or whatever. But call them and let them know. And in fact, I could even do that and tell them, actually, I think I'll suggest to Get Set Up to maybe contact Comcast too, because it's got to be on the Get Set Up. I mean, on the Comcast side, got to be.
Okay, because my email is Yahoo, but my internet provider is Comcast.
Could be.
Well, my internet provider's, Comcast, and that's not a problem, but obviously, but no, it's just kind of, and like I said, in the beginning, it wasn't a problem.
Right.
And, other than I
couldn't get a shift. Mine started April 2nd. I went all the way back to, that was the last day I got a reminder or anything from
okay.
Mine was April 16th.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I signed up. What happened was, it was no problem getting into classes, and I would only sign up like a couple days ahead of time. It was like, oh, I want to make sure that it's free.
Right.
But there was an exercise class in the morning at 8 o'clock who was very popular, and she was like booking up a week in advance.
Right.
So it was like, oh my gosh, if you want to, participate. So I started booking 2 weeks in advance, which is all you could.
Right.
And I got all the confirmations, and then after that, I never got any reminders. And so, here you are at 8 o'clock in the morning, just pulling yourself out of bed. And then you're trying to find where is the confirmation that goes all the way back to April 16th.
Has Get Set Up confirmed that emails have gone out to you guys? Can you get them to confirm, yes, I see that an email went out to you?
They have not confirmed it with me, because I've asked that question, and
I
have not received a response on that part, and they can't seem to figure out what the problem is, because they keep asking me. Because I reported to help at Get Set Up.
Yes,
and so they say they're checking into it, and then they refer it to their supervisor. And I got an email from the one supervisor, but I haven't heard anything else since then.
Who was the supervisor you heard from? Do you know?
Her name was Melissa.
Okay, I know who Melissa is. All right. Okay.
Well, the other thing, that's what happened is in talking. One of the teachers said, "Well, just call Get Set Up," because help kept sending me all these things. I've tried that, I've done that,
right.
And so finally I called them, and we had like a long conversation trying to fix everything. And
do you know who was helping you, Melinda?
I think Nina was one time, and then maybe I know I've heard from Nina, and I'm trying to think of the other girl's name. Might have been Melissa.
Okay, I've got some notes here. I'm going to follow up too on my end. I know in April is when we pushed out the new website. Could possibly have something to do with that. They're well aware that there are some glitches and some people are having issues, but it's kind of
it might be with your new website when everything got like I said before that I was getting everything. So
that's when mine stopped as well. So
I would recommend that Get Set Up, contact Comcast and explain.
Yeah, that could possibly be the issue. Right.
In that it's,
the one thing they asked me to do is make sure that getsetup.io is in my contacts, and I have that. And and they asked me to verify it, and I verified it is in my contacts. And it's just, I don't know.
Right. At the place I worked, I would do the same thing. I would always make sure that it was in. It's the first thing IT would always ask me when I called them. I said, I can't get emails from this vendor. Well, is it in your safe sender list? Yes, it's in it. And but IT, ultimately, they'd have to kick it up the chain to networking, and then they finally would figure it out. I'll suggest that, Eva and Melinda, I'll suggest that they maybe can contact Comcast.
The problem was when I talked on the phone, we finally resolved. Once she showed me that it was on my schedule, and I went, oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, that's going to be easy.
Right. Okay.
I'll just go in and just click on launch.
Okay.
And I realized, wait a minute, I'm not getting any of the.
Right.
And what I do now is when I schedule a class, I just put it in my calendar right at that time, so that I'll get a notification that my class is coming up, and then I have to log in.
All right. Well, I've got some notes. I will follow up, and let's go ahead and get started with the class here.
Okay.
Excuse me. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us troubleshoot a little bit there. One of the best things about Get Set Up is you get these follow-up emails with information and things like that. So want to make sure everybody's getting what they need. This is a class for Kahoot for beginners. If you're new to Kahoot or just want to go along and review some things that you've learned maybe in some of the other classes, that we're going to start right from the beginning. I want everybody to make sure they understand this is a beginning class, so I don't want anybody to get bored if they've already been on it several times, but you certainly, I'm glad you're back if you have been on it several times. I'm going to start out with a screen share. If you have any questions, this is a relatively small class. Just feel free to unmute yourself anytime you have questions and ask when we're on the particular topic and you have a question at that point. I think that's the best time to address your question. So let's do it that way. If things get out of hand, we'll mute everybody, but I think everything will be just fine. And several of you I've already had classes with, and so it's not an issue. The class is going to be a little bit of PowerPoint presentation, very little PowerPoint, and then we're going to actually jump on the Kahoot site and take a look. Now, I will say while we're going along, some of you may want to be on a Kahoot app or something like that. Just if you'll, sometimes you'll get lost or get a little bit ahead of what we're doing. If you'll just go through and watch as we explain everything, I think it'll make a lot more sense to you when you do get off the class and go in there and try to do some things on your own. All righty, so I'm going to talk just a little bit about Get Set Up before we actually get started here. One moment, let me get everything going here. And hopefully you're all seeing my screen here that says Kahoot for hosting virtual games. Now, this is a beginning class. This is kind of a generic term that I call it because I generally take the class in whatever direction the learners go in, because sometimes we have people with all different levels of skill. So we are going to start right from the beginning here. And a little bit about Get Set Up. This is the Get Set Up community, a little bit about it. Help us spread the word. We depend on you guys to help keep us going. Let us know if there are new classes that you'd like or anything you'd like to suggest that we do a class on, because we like to do what the community wants. We partner with assisted care, senior living, government, community organizations. You can request a I'm sorry, I didn't start the recording when we got going here. I'm going to stop the share just for a second here and get the recording go again. Okay, now you can request a recording of the class by simply emailing help@getsetup.io. And here it is right here on the screen. And they will send you a link to the class if you can get the email, Melinda. So also, as you know, Get Set Up helps everybody learn all kinds of different skills so you can do wonderful things and be very productive in life. And we learn from each other. It's fun to have the camera on where we can see each other's face and reactions and things when we laugh and have a good time. But I understand if you don't want your camera on, that's not a problem at all. As I was talking about early on to Melinda, if you're joining by live stream, the best way to really get the most from these classes is by going to getsetup.io and logging in and booking the class that way. That's the way that everything funnels through to where you do get the follow-up emails and all the other information from the class. So that's really the best way to join. Lastly, I would like to say that at Get Set Up, we talk about a lot of products and things like Kahoot, all the Apple products, whatever. We don't get paid to promote anything. So the class notes email is going to come to you from me after the class. It'll have some key takeaways from today's class. And a lot of times I base this follow-up email on questions that are asked. Sometimes there's questions asked of me and I don't have an answer, but I'll make a note and then I'll find the answer and I'll put it in the follow-up email. There will also in that email be some suggestions for other classes that you may be interested in taking. And also there'll be a section for feedback. You can click the feedback link and this is a feedback box. You can rate the session, the actual class itself. You can rate your guide, which would be me. And down here you can free text and put anything, any other comments that you want. If you're having problems receiving emails, put those comments in there too. The stars default to 4. Not sure why, but you can rate us anything from a 1 to a 5. Just click on whatever star rating you want to give us. So if you do go online and book your class, these are some new things that have come out. If you book online, after you book it, you'll have an option to tell some friends about the classes, and you can click right here and it will actually open up your email client, whether you with Yahoo, Gmail, Comcast, whatever, and it will allow you to send an email to a friend where you can tell them about the class too. If you book something on a mobile device, this is the pop-up that you'll see after you book where you can tell a friend. You can actually post it to Facebook to let somebody know. This is a click here and it's a WhatsApp messaging service. You can let them know that way too. Or you can email it to to them. If you click this, it will open up your email client and send a message to somebody to invite them to the class or to let them know about the class. Okay. Any questions so far about Get Set Up? I know we've talked a lot about the email issues, and I thank y'all very much for that info. I'm going to follow up and see if they can't figure it out and let you know. Well, I don't communicate directly with you guys, but hopefully they will let you guys know what's going on and where they're at with it. A lot of times there's work being done behind the scenes and they don't always follow up with you. And it's like one day all of a sudden something will work and you go, okay, I guess they got it figured out. But sometimes you don't really hear that they're working on it. This is the agenda for today. We're going to talk about what Kahoot actually is, how it can be used. We'll briefly walk through how to set up a login or create an account where it's a free account, doesn't cost you anything. We'll talk about these last two things here, depending upon how our time runs in the class. I'm going to make sure everybody knows how to create a Kahoot, or we'll get into that. There's so much you can do with creating your own Kahoot game. And then if we have a little bit of extra time, we'll talk about creating, how to host a Kahoot game, which is what I did yesterday when we played. I was actually hosting it and you guys were playing. And we'll talk a little bit about the class wrap up. So I'm going to stop the screen share for just a minute and ask, what exactly does everybody want to learn about Kahoot today? Anything specific anybody wants to learn so I can make sure I don't leave that out?
I'd be interested in more of how to host as opposed to how to create.
Okay. Okay. How to host. Okay.
Yeah. And also how to create your own game.
Okay. That's what we're going to talk about. Good. That's the fun thing too, because like a lot of people, as I mentioned yesterday, have done a lot of family reunions that they can't actually do during COVID where they get together, and they've actually done them via Zoom, and they'll play some Kahoot games on there and ask questions about family members and things like that. So a lot of people have had a lot of fun with this. All righty. So let me go back. I'll get back up here to the screen share. So let's play a quick game, okay? So here's the instructions. When you play Kahoot, it's different. The site you go to is different than when you actually go to kahoot.com and create games and all. To play, you go to kahoot.it. So if you'll get your second device, whether it's your iPad, your Android, your phone, whatever, and go to your web browser, whether you use Google or Safari or whatever web browser you use, on that second device, put in KAHOOT.IT. Nothing but that. No W's, no H's, no nothing. Just Kahoot.it. And once you hit enter on that, you're going to see a screen pop up that says enter game pin number. And I'm going to give you the game pin number. That's for the host to do. All you have to do is enter a game pin number. When you enter that number I give you, you'll create a username for yourself or a nickname, because the Kahoot game actually keeps scores. And you can use your real name if you want. Create a nickname, whatever you want. And then when you hit enter after creating your nickname, you should see your nickname on my screen and it'll say you're in, get ready to play or something like that. Okay, so go to kahoot.it and get ready. I'm going to go up here, share my other screen and load the game pin for everybody. Hopefully you can see my other screen here. And I believe this is the screen where you actually create the game pin. And let me share my sound. I always forget to do that. Just a second here. So sorry. Check that little box. Okay, so here's your game pin number right here at the top. So put in your game pin number. And then enter a nickname for you. And look on my screen and you'll see your nickname. We got Harry Potter with us today, guys. Okay, nickname. Okay, hang on. We got somebody doing a whole bunch nicknames. Somebody must have put it in, or it started a ton of different names here. Okay, I've never seen that happen before. That's a new one. We'll see how that figure out. Who is nickname, putting in nickname, something, whatever, or is maybe somebody else is on there. It looks like it's just loading games. I'm going to close this game. We're going to start it over again. Okay, so you'll see me actually leave this game and you'll see a Kahoot screen here. Let me go back and start it over. So you're going to go back to kahoot.it and get ready to go with the game that I'm going to load. I'm just going to reload the game again. And this is 5 simple questions about spring is what it is. So we're going to start all over again. Can't imagine why that was doing that. That was very strange.
Wow.
It looked like it was, let me make sure my game options I don't have. When you play by yourself, you can actually have the computer create extra names and things, but I think that was some kind of a glitch. So let's load up again and see if this game pin will work and let everybody put their names in. Starting again here.
It had said classic mode and something else mode. Which one are you doing?
I'm doing classic, and that's, you don't have to worry about that as a player, but as a hoster, you do classic. The team mode was the other option, and that's actually something that teachers use to create groups of students so that the groups can compete against each other. I actually set up my account as a teacher account. Yeah, see how, so this is doing it again. Okay.
And it won't accept the PIN number.
Well, is everybody having trouble with the PIN number?
No, like you saw, I'm in my name.
No, I'm in.
Mine says you're in.
Who's having the trouble with the PIN number?
Not anymore. I corrected it.
Okay. I have never seen this happen before. Let me try another game because it's just
it says there's a thing by the start. It says unlocked and locked. Would you lock it or unlock it?
You shouldn't be doing any of that. That may be what's happening. You're going to be a player. So you're seeing a host screen for some reason. I don't know what you're on. Are you going to Kahoot.it or are you playing with an app or what?
No, I'm in, and I just saw that it had that on the screen. I'm looking at the screen.
Okay, if you're looking at my screen and you see that, right now, don't worry about what you see on my screen until we actually start playing the game, okay?
Yeah, I was just asking if it.
Oh, yeah, okay, okay.
Then
Maybe
it came back on my screen. It came back to enter the game pin again. It went back to the original screen.
Okay, maybe there's a problem with this particular game.
Yeah,
right. There's just 5 questions is all I wanted to use since this is a new game. I just wanted everybody to see what a game looks like. Let me stop the screen share for a minute and ask who has never played a Kahoot game? Have
I
all of you
played for the first time yesterday.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay. So if everybody has played at least once, then everybody knows how to play, right?
You're going to have to give that.
Okay. Then I'm going to skip that.
To enter the pin again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, I'm going to skip us playing a game right now. Okay, and I'm just going to go to the teaching part.
I don't know how to play. I'm new.
Okay. Okay. Then let's try this one more time. Let me see. Okay, let me go back to the share screen. I want to get on here, and I'm going to try another game actually. That was a public Kahoot that I actually went in and edited. Could be that there was a problem with that public Kahoot. So let me find a different game for us to play. Just something very simple. I don't want a whole lot of questions. Let me go back and find a different one. See how we're doing on time. We're doing okay here. Okay, let me see if I have a small one here. Okay. So I have one. Let's see. Okay, now it seems that my Kahoot side is hung up.
Did you sign in everything? Oh, I don't think anything is signed.
So I'm getting a conversation. Please mute yourself.
He signed it. You see where the things around his signature.
If you could make okay.
Well, if
I can figure out how to get everybody. I hear someone talking in the background. Please mute yourself. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Let me see if okay. Kahoot. There we go. Now we went back to Kahoot. Let me load all my Kahoots. This could possibly be a problem with the Kahoot site. I don't know. Sometimes maybe they're actually trying to do some type of upgrade or something like that. Seems to be moving a little slow here too. It's not responding to commands very well. Okay. Let me try something.
It was slow on this side too, Cindy.
Was it? Something may be going on with Kahoot. I don't know. Let me try a login once again and just start it again and see what's going on here. I'll see now it's not even loading quickly like it should. Okay.
It may be because a lot of people may be using the real,
No, there's tons of people all over the world. This is used all over the world, not just in the United States. So they have plenty of bandwidth to be able to play these games. So I don't know what could be happening or why it should be doing that. I'm going to go ahead and just load this game again and let's see what happens here. So everybody should be at kahoot.it, and in just a second here, we'll get going with loading the PIN number. The service is moving very slow today.
It said malware detected on mine. Oh.
It said nowhere detected.
It said malware detected.
On your phone?
Right, my security, Avis.
Is anybody else getting that?
Okay, I'm not doing this.
No.
Okay. Nobody else has gotten anything like that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. It's then I don't know. I don't know why it would say anything about malware. Something must be going on with your phone or your app or whatever. I can't imagine what's happening there. But that
Cindy,
could possibly
sometimes
be
with new things, it does that just for you to check to know what's coming in.
It didn't happen yesterday.
Huh. Try rebooting your phone. If you're on a phone or your iPad, try rebooting.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, good deal.
No, I'm getting it again. Sorry, I'm out of here.
Okay, okay. So here's your PIN number. And go ahead and get on board. I bet you that's what was happening. Was it the one that malware suspected when you connected to the Kahoot game? I bet you that's what was happening. Yeah, no, see, here's nickname 20. It's going again. It's doing the same thing again.
And I'm not even on it now.
Okay.
I turned my phone off completely.
Okay.
Cindy, it's saying, oops, you're disconnected. Try to reconnect again.
Okay. I'm totally off of, let me stop the screen share here for a minute and just leave everybody open here.
Okay.
I'm totally off the Kahoot website. We're going to skip the play. We're going to,
I think Kahoot IT is having problems because
it could be.
It's disconnecting me, and it sounds like it's doing it to everyone.
That's what it sounds like. So let me go back and see if I can get into Kahoot.
Kahoot app.
Don't they know you're teaching this today?
You know how computers and everything goes. It's never fails, but I've never run into this issue. So very well could be something going on with Kahoot. You know, sometimes, hackers hack into everything. It could be that maybe they've hacked into the Kahoot site today. See, are y'all, okay, my screen just loaded. Am I doing a screen share? Yeah. Y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so if I could just stay on the home screen and show you guys some things, and that's what I'm going to do. We're going to skip the play for right now. Since everybody has played at least one game, I'm going to actually sign out and then show you what Kahoot would look like if you actually went in and had never been in there before. If you go to kahoot.com, that's where you can go in and actually create an account for yourself. And actually it keeps recognizing me here. So when you get on Kahoot, this is pretty much what your home screen would look like. If you're going to create an account, this little square right here would be all about how to create your free account. Once you sign up for your free account, anywhere through there, don't let it try and charge you money for anything because your account is free. With a free account, you can host a game and up to 10 people can play at once. So make sure you go in and go through here and it walks you right straight through. It will ask you for a birth date. The reason it's going to ask you for a birth date, that's not, it's not for tracking you or anything like that. You can even give it a false birth date. It asks for a birth date because teachers use this Kahoot to teach their classes a lot. And
excited for you.
I've got some background noise. Please mute yourself.
Hope all is well.
Okay, who am I getting the background noise from? Let's see here. So sorry. Okay, please keep yourself muted because I was getting a lot of background noise here. I think it was, okay, that hopefully will take care of it right there. Okay, so when you create your new free account, it'll ask your birth date. The reason is because if you're a student, you have to at least be 13 years of age in order to get a student account on here. So that's why they ask for a birth date. You can give it a fake birth date or anything you want to do, but it will walk you right through. It'll ask you what kind of account do you want or who you're going to play with. And it'll say family and friends, students and teachers, or it'll give you different choices. Select the family and friends because mostly that's what everybody's going to be signing up and playing with. So go in, you can create your own account and it will actually take you through several different steps. And then it will take you to a regular sign-in page like you see on most sites to log in. I think I have my auto login on here. Let's see what it brings up. Once you go through actually getting your site, okay, this is what you'll see every time you go to Kahoot.com from then on. So you'll have a login, and I actually am going to log in here, and you'll create your own password. And you can log in, and then this will be the home screen that you see in Kahoot. Now, my home screen, I've been on Kahoot for a long time, and I've got a lot of games that I've already created. So yeah, the website is running very, very slow. So they may be even actually doing some work. They may realize that there's something malware going on somewhere. So these are all the games that I've created. These are some collections I've created. You can actually create collections and categorize your Kahoots if you want. All of the Kahoots that I've created here, I've got like 30. If I click on this, it opens up to all the Kahoots that I've created. Just wanted to show you that. These are the different ones so that you'll know what you're going to see after you create your own Kahoot. So the thing to look at is up here. This is your home, your main menu up here. And here's where your home is. You just click on home. That's where you're going to start. When you log in, you'll see this home screen. And it will show you your Kahoots right here. If you have collections, it will show it here. But to create a Kahoot, what you want to focus on is this little blue button right up here on the right-hand side to create. So once you get your account set up and everything, you do have to have a login and have an account, a free account. Make sure it doesn't charge you anything unless you want to do that. Could be that you're a teacher and maybe you want to use Kahoot to teach. But once you click create, it takes you to basically a template to where you can create your own games. Now with a free account, there's a lot of different kinds of questions that you can create in Kahoot, but with a free account, you get to create two different types of questions. One is a multiple choice, and the other one is true false. So you have those options to pick from. When you go in and create a Kahoot, you click on the blue button up top, and then you click New Kahoot right here. So once you do that, it basically brings you to a template that's used to create the Kahoot. It's very simple to do. This is your template for where you type in your question, your possible answers. You can add media. I'll show you how to do that. Over here in Kahoot, you can pick what kind of question you want to choose. If you choose quiz, that's going to be multiple choice. With your free account, you can choose the quiz or the true false. Now, this is your quiz template. If we pick true false, here's your true false template. So it's very simple to do. Pick whichever kind of question you want to do. And for right now, we're going to do a quiz question. So I'll click quiz question. It's got my options for 4 answers down here. There's a time limit for the question. You can select different time limits for the questions that you ask. If you want to give people 30 seconds to answer a question, you just click on 30 seconds. Most of the true false and quiz questions, 20 seconds is plenty of time because you don't want everybody to answer, and a lot of people answer very quickly, and you don't want a lot of people just having to sit there with nothing to do while your seconds are clicking off the clock. That's kind of a waste of time. So I'm going to go ahead and set the time limit at 20 seconds. Now, points, generally speaking, for a correct answer, it gives you 1,000 points per question. You can change that to double points if you want, or you could just give no points if you want. Maybe you created a screen with just some instructions on it. You could set no points. But the fun thing to do is standard points is what defaults to for all questions. Double points is a fun thing to do because when you play Kahoot and it goes through the rankings, Double points will actually allow you to move up the board quicker and faster if you are one of the top people answering that question. Kahoot looks at two different ways for you to score points. One is if you get the right answer. Two is how quickly you get the right answer. So with double points, if you get the right answer and you're the first one to answer, you're going to get a ton of points. It's going to boost you way back up the leaderboard. Okay. And when we're playing along, a lot of times one miss of a question, you may be the top on the leaderboard, and the leaderboard shows the top 5 people all the time. And you may be the top person, but if you miss one question, it may totally throw you off the leaderboard. But if the next question coming up is double points and you get the right answer very quickly, you could move right back up to the top again. So that's where you set your type of question, your time limit, and how many points you want to have. And you can also, this is an option I don't use very often, but you can actually change it to where there's more than one correct answer. You can do multiple select. So, but I'm going to leave it on single select. So let's get back here. This is our first question. So we're going to think of a question we want to ask. I'm going to say, this is just simple. What day? Well, there you go. What day is today? That's my question. Okay. I'll put some answers in down here. Oh, running very slow. Go ahead and get my answers in. Okay, so there's my question. There's my 4 choices. And if you notice these little circles bopping up and down, that's because you have to pick a right answer. So you have to make sure you select the right answer. So today is Saturday. So I'm going to put the check mark in the blue box for Saturday. So I've got my question and I've got my answer. Now right here, I can pick a picture to put in here. The picture can be anything that I want it to be. I can upload something from my computer if I want. If I'm doing a family reunion picture, I could maybe do a family picture, something like that. Or I can just do a picture that's related to my question. So here's the way that you can add pictures. You can actually, if I click on add media, this site changes so much. You can actually have 3 ways to add media. You can use an image library, which is a ton of images that are free and Kahoot hosted. You can use them. You can upload your own image, which means you would pull something off of your computer to maybe put in a personalized picture or something. You can actually use a YouTube link. That's a little more advanced. I cover that in the advanced class. But the easiest thing to do is to pick an image library picture. And when you click on that, it actually gives you some suggestions based on your question. So here's some days listed here based off of my question, which was what day is today. You can pick something here, or you can put something in here if you just want a picture of something pretty, like maybe a sunset. Maybe I want a picture of a sunset. I can type in sunset and hit enter. And here's all these cool pictures that I can use for that question. So let me just pick one here. If I click on that picture, it's going to take me back to my question screen, and it's going to load that sunset picture right in here. Well, let's say I decide, no, you know what? I don't want that. So I'm going to take it off. I'm just going to click remove. I'm going to go back and add media again. And I'm going to go to image library, and I'm going to pick something. I'm going to try to find something that actually says Saturday. So if I click on Saturday, this will pull up all images related to Saturday. And maybe I can find something that says Saturday. Yeah, I can. Here's one that says Saturday. So this is a very simple example for you. These pictures can also be used to trick the people that are taking the test. Like sometimes they can be a hint for the correct answer. Sometimes they can be a distraction from the correct answer. So in other words, here I've put a hint for the correct answer. If we didn't all know what day it was, this might very well be a hint. So you can do whatever you want. You can use these to kind of trick your participants sometimes. Okay, so basically we have our whole question done. Here's our first question. What day is today? We've got 4 choices. We've got a right answer picked. We've got a picture we want to use in here. We've set all of these parameters over here. Now, the last thing you can do is you can do an image reveal, which means that the picture doesn't show up all at once. It shows up in pieces, and you can select how many little pieces and how quickly you want. If I check this little box here, you can see the pieces forming in a slow manner. You may want to use a picture and say, who is this? And you could do the questions, do the boxes slowly and see if somebody could pick out who it was before it actually got the whole picture up there. You can do it very quickly. You can do them. All of these are just different. Tells you this is an 8x8 screen where the pictures are littler. You can do a 3x3 where the picture actually shows up much more. It's slower for the picture parts to show up, but the whole picture shows up faster. So that's a little more thing that you can do with the image that you want. So basically we're all done here. We've got our first question here. We're good to go. So question 1 is good. We're going to go to add a question. We're going to go to question 2. Okay. Let's do a true false question. So I'm going to click true false. And here's my true false template. I'm going to say you got 20 seconds to answer this. We'll do standard points and we'll go up here and we'll say, here's our statement. Today is Monday, true or false? Well, today's Saturday, so that's going to be false. We fill in our answer here. We go up here and add media. And I'm going to go back to the image library and just pick something at random. So I'll pick this today picture and we'll let it load little pieces real quickly. I'll do that option. You don't have to do an option there. And so now we're done with a true false question. So that's question number 2. Any questions right now?
Yesterday, when we were playing Kahoot, you personally added all those questions we responded to, or does Kahoot generate all those questions?
Some of them I've actually created from scratch, like we're doing right now, and others are actually public Kahoots that I've gone in and borrowed, so to speak, because every time you create a Kahoot, it goes into the public domain. And I actually use those Kahoots for us to play while we were doing the class yesterday. Some of those I didn't create. Actually, I think we just got to play one yesterday. That was a trivia. Yes, I did create that one myself. I think it had 30 questions in it. And I did create that one just from some trivia questions that I got off of the internet. So I'll show you that when I finish up when we totally are finished here, I will show you that. We've got plenty of time to show you that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So there's our second question. Let's go add one more. We'll make it a 3-question Kahoot. We'll add one more just so we can look at something different. We'll do another quiz question. I'm going to change this to a 30-second because I'm going to think it's going to take people a little more time to think about it. It's a quiz. I've set all my parameters over here, but since it's a little tougher question, I'm going to go ahead and do double points. So all of these are set. We'll type up one more question. And I'm going to just leave it like this. This will be basically you fill in the blank with an answer down here, and I'll put in some answers. Okay, now are we through? We could be, but no, we haven't added media, but most importantly, we haven't added an answer down here. We've got to put the click in Sunday, because tomorrow will be Sunday. And I can add media again. I'll go up here, pick an image library. I'll go back and look for a bird picture. I want a picture of a bird on there. We'll click this. It'll go back to a bird picture.
Cindy, are you supposed to be sharing the Kahoot screen? Because I only see you.
Yeah. Is that anybody else seeing the Kahoot screen?
I can see it.
Yes, I can see everything.
Okay. There's some kind of glitches going on with Kahoot right now. I don't know what, and I don't know why. There's some kind of, yeah. So if you're not, have you been seeing it at all?
No, ma'am. Just you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. She hasn't moved. She hasn't gone to full screen speaker view.
Yeah. Go to your
Carol Sue. You need to go to full screen speaker view.
Right.
And move the gallery out of the way.
Right.
Okay, now I see it where it says ask question. Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, thanks, Christine. Okay, yeah, I teach it differently with I have my whole, I use a gallery view all the time. So that could be what it is. Thank you, Christine, for that.
I have a question, Cindy.
Yes, go ahead.
Cindy, can you, it seems as though you can put the points per question. In other words, weight each question a different amount. Is that correct? Yes,
absolutely. Over here. This is where you select that. These are your parameters or your options for every question that you have. And every question up here, you can pick what type of question. You can change your time limit for the answer. Any of these options, these are your parameters for the questions. And here's your points right here.
Thank you.
So that's what I usually do is go over here and set my parameters before I start the question. Or at some point, that's what you do.
Cindy, can you only set standard or double points? You can't like set, oh, I want them to be worth 100 or 1,000 or that's already kind of.
I think you probably can if you have maybe the highest upgraded account. You have more bells and whistles the more you pay them on a monthly basis for an account. So there probably is an option somewhere in there, but on the free account, there won't be. There'll just be these two options with standard, double points. I'm sorry, 3 options, standard, double points, or no points. Okay. So we're done with our Kahoot totally. We're only doing 3 questions. We're all done. So we go up here and click on the done button in the top right-hand corner of the page. And it's going to go through and actually verify that we've answered everything, that everything is copacetic with the Kahoot in order for it to be played. And it's going to ask us to put a title in for it. So I'm going to call it Days of the Week. So there's my Days of the Week Kahoot. I'm going to click continue. And now it's going to go through the verification process to make sure that we've answered everything, that everything's good to go. So it says, yay, the Kahoot's ready to be played. So you can test the Kahoot. You can actually play it now. You can share it with others. You can email links out. I'm going to say I'm all done. I don't want to do any of this. So I've created my first Kahoot now. So when I click done, it's going to take me back to my home screen. And here's the question, the days of the week we just created. It shows up right there. So there's the one that we just created. Now, if I want to go in someday, maybe a week from now, I want to go in and I want to edit this and make it a little different. I can just go right in here, edit it. It takes me back to it where I can go in here. It pulls up all 3 of my questions here. We'll give it a minute to load. Here's my 3 questions and I can edit any of these questions I want. Let's say I want to delete one of them. I just want to have 2 questions. And let's say I want to delete this one. Everybody knows what today is. So I'm going to delete this one. So it asks you to confirm. You confirm it. And now if you look, there's only 2 questions in this Kahoot. Now I'm going to show you what happens. Well, I can't really do it. If you don't pick something down here or you've left out an answer somewhere, when it verifies your Kahoot, it will tell you exactly what needs to be fixed. And all you have to do is click on fix and it takes you right to that question to fix it so that it's playable. So we've deleted a question. We're all done. We'll click done over here again. It's ready to be played. Don't want to do any of this. I can click done and it'll take me back to my home page. It'll show my Kahoot up here and it's not updated yet. There it goes. 2 questions. So now I'm at 2 questions. Okay. So we have created our first Kahoot. So I'm going to go back right here to the home screen. Any questions on creating a basic Kahoot? I didn't show you how to add, a YouTube video. You can actually add YouTube videos to it. There's tons of things you can do to be even more creative with your free account. But I didn't go into any of that. We've got an advanced class. We can go into that if some of you want to know.
I do have another question, Cindy.
Yes, yes.
And do the players have to participate using another device? Can you just flash the questions and people can do a self-quiz?
If you have, you can. If you have 2 monitors, I think someone was on one time and they actually played with 2 monitors that they had. But there are, Carol, there are a lot of options. We talk about that in the advanced class too.
Right, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of options that you can do where you can actually play by yourself and with your, yes, there's tons of things. In fact, once you get in there, Carol, you can probably play around with it and you probably actually get to that part where you could figure that out. That would be my suggestion. Once you have your free account, go in there and play around and see all the cool things you can do. Yes.
I was just going to suggest that one place you could use the no points would be like the first question, where you've got new players and you're going to say, okay, just so everybody can try it out. There's not going to be any points, so don't panic. And then that way, the first question, you could have like no points. And then that way, it's like, okay, no one's on the scoreboard yet. And it's not like dance players are all of a sudden ahead of the newbies.
Absolutely.
I was just thinking that might be a good time or one where you might want to say no points.
And a lot of the Kahoots are actually built that way. Sometimes the first screen has directions. Sometimes the first screen will say, look at the following picture and garnish as much information as you can remember. And it will be, they may even have some options for hitting answers. It may say, okay, cool, or yeah, I got it, or ready to go, or whatever. But yes, and that would be a no pointer. Absolutely. Very, very good statement there. Yes, you absolutely can do that.
And Cindy, one of the other things you've demonstrated is using very obvious answers just to show people how to do it.
Yes, Absolutely. Because
versus the hard ones you do, like the STEM ones.
Correct. I have a lot of really hard ones. As the group that we play with they're pretty sharp and on top of it. So a lot of times I will use tricky pictures, what's I don't know, the fifth closest planet to the Earth or whatever. Sometimes I'll put a picture of the correct answer. Sometimes I won't. So yeah, you can get as tricky as you want, which is very good to do if you're actually teaching students or something like that. As I try to keep them kind of in the middle where I have some really tough ones, a lot that everybody can answer, and a few that are really hard and really easy where only certain people can answer or whatever, or if you really know a lot of trivia or whatever. But absolutely, you can do that, yes. There's so many things you can do with Kahoot.
An example of that would be like on your question of what is today, is if you then the media was a sign that says Monday, where people
absolutely
have
right.
Think about what it actually is as opposed to just reading the sign and hitting that.
Absolutely. And I do that a lot of times, right, Christine? So
yes, she can be a tricky Cindy.
So we have a few minutes left. I want to show you one thing. There was a question earlier about how to go in and play Kahoots by yourself, which you can do. You can actually host it and play it. You actually pull it up and go through all of the motions of hosting it online, as I did yesterday, and play it on your phone at the same time. But there are many, many public Kahoots. And let me get this off of here. Sorry. Many public Kahoots. And to see those, you go to Discover. Here's your main tab up here. And we're at home right now. Look at this Discover tab. These last two go with higher paid accounts. This is for like reports on how many Kahoots, each Kahoot, how much you've played it, how many percentages, all of the answers were given or whatever. And this is even one if you have groups, if you're a teacher and you have groups. But if you click on the Discover tab right here, it pulls up all these public Kahoots that you can go in and play yourself. And if you do this, you're actually kind of hosting, I'll say, and playing all by yourself. So you can pick any of these that are in here. And if you see, I have a lot of different topics down here because I signed up for a teacher account. Or you can go in here and you can find a Kahoot about anything you want. We did some Kahoots on Easter. And so I went in here and I put in Easter to create my games for the class. And here's all these Easter Kahoots. So you can pick one of them and you can play it. Let's see, let's find one that might be easy. Let's see. Let's just do the history of Easter. So if I click on this, I can actually play it if I want. I can look at it. I can see what all the questions are. If I want to see the answers, I can actually click here and it'll show me the answers. So let's say I'm going through here and I want to pick this one to use for Easter with my family next year. I can go through, I can read the questions. It tells me how many questions are in here. I can go here, read the questions. Here's the right answer. You can see this one. It shows me the questions and the answers. And I can see if this Kahoot, yeah, this is good. My family will know these answers. Some of them will, some of them won't. So I want to use this Kahoot and we'll play it at Easter. Now, if you look here at this Kahoot, if you click play right here, it's going to actually start it and you can play it. I'm going to go ahead and show you. When you click play, you're always going to go to teach because you're not going to assign it to anybody. You're just going to click teach. And then it actually starts to load. It pulls up classic or team mode. Again, this is for if you have a group, that's the team mode. You're going to always select classic Kahoot. And when you do, it's going to start loading a pin right here. Now, if you want to play all by yourself, you can pull up your phone or whatever and go in and put the Kahoot on here, put the game number on here. I'm gonna demo. Let me just let me see if I've live view here. I can actually show you how to do this with my phone here. Let's see here if I can connect. And I'll actually throw my phone up here.
Is this only for the phone or can it be an iPad?
iPad or phone, either one, right.
Thank you.
Now, this is going to get kind of confusing if I do this. If I go in and I share, I'm going to share my screen and share my phone real quick, if I can find it on here.
Cindy, the main thing to realize on this is takes two things to do it. Right. Look at the question, and the other is actually used as your response tool.
Yes, doing it this way, it does. There is a way that you can go in there and you can play side-by-side kind of type things, which we talk about in the advanced class too.
Oh, okay. But it's not the kind of thing where if you've got your phone in the airport and you just say, oh, I'm going to sit here and play some. You
can. There is a way that you can do that. And like I said, we talk about that in the advanced class.
Okay.
But, and you can play around with it, Melinda, and probably figure that out too. Let me go back to the screen share here. I won't show the phone. I don't want to confuse everybody further than I already have. It's very confusing because there's so much that you can do here. So anyway, here's the pin. And actually, if you want to host it with a group of people, if you have your free account and maybe you want your family members to come play a game with you, all you have to do is you share it through Zoom. So if you've taken any of our Get Set Up Zoom classes, it will show you how to do that. You share your screen and you are actually running the Kahoot right here. You have to actually go in and create a Zoom meeting, of course, and share that with your family members and say at 10 o'clock Saturday, we're going to play this Zoom meeting. We're going to play this Kahoot game via Zoom. Here's your link to get on board. If you want to play, come play. And then they would all have the links and they would go to kahoot.it, sign in, and you would be running the game up here. Okay.
Cindy, I signed in and it looks like it's working now.
What's working now?
I signed in, I put a piece in, and so it's not doing the crazy thing that it was doing before.
Good.
So Donna, you know what? I just was surfing and came up with your program. So I've never heard of Kahoots, but I'm just thinking, I want to do a family reunion. And wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, yes.
Invite them to come into a family reunion, but beforehand go to each family and say, you got 2 or 3 questions to throw in. I'm all excited about it. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And there have been some people that have done that for Easter. I want to say one of our Carols did that for Easter. I could be wrong, but I know that's been done for Easter because she was on one of our classes once and actually showed us how she went in and put in some videos, and she timed the videos certain length and showed only portions of the family video and then asked a question about that video. Absolutely. This is a terrific thing to do for that, Laura.
Wow.
Terrific thing
Great.
to do for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to take a few more classes though.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go in and play around with it too, because it's very easy to figure out, honestly, because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I was able to figure out quite a bit of it. It's very user friendly. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Cindy,
but then it's like sharing it with the whole group and whatever. How they get in and how you invite them? I assume you invite them through Zoom.
You do. You go in. You have to have a Zoom account, of course, and then once you have your Zoom account, you create a Zoom meeting and you send that link to everybody you want to play,
and then import this into the meeting.
Right before you start that Zoom meeting, you would actually queue everything up on your computer, and then once you got everybody on board, you'd go in and share your screen, and you begin sharing right where you click Classic, and it will load the pin for them.
Exciting.
So Cindy, you basically need to take the how to host a Zoom class in order to do this.
Yeah.
That's why I said I have to figure that out.
How to screen share and all that stuff.
Right. And Donna, I think, well, there's several people that teach, Wendy, maybe several people that teach a lot of Zoom classes, and they teach all kinds of stuff about it. Once you got Zoom down, then doing this would be very simple. You'd understand it much better. But both of them, you'll have a good time doing that though, Laura. It's a lot of fun.
But as I said, I'm sort of surfing, and I do 3 or 4 or 5 classes a day. And so I'm just in the kitchen here listening to it. And it's so exciting. It's like I said, it is like learning math. When you learn the axioms and all of a sudden one day you put it all together and you go, wow, that's amazing. That's what they're talking about. I said, that's my approach to learning. So I'm learning this game and I know a little bit of Zoom and whatever. Right. Do that family meeting. Right.
Your light bulb has just gone off. Yeah. That's what I get. That's what I enjoy out of teaching, is seeing somebody go, oh, wow, that's cool. I think I can use that, instead of just going through. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Cindy, I wanted to ask you, if you don't want to, because host one and all that yourself, you can just go to the Kahoot website, after you've signed in, and then just pick a game, and then just can can you pick a game and join in with other people that are playing? Or I guess you can't because you have to be invited into a Zoom room.
Mm-hmm. Well, correct. But it's not like some of our apps we have where you can, like, there's a bingo app where you can play and it creates all kinds of other people. There is a way on the app and with your phone where you can sit and play. And what it does is it generates just off different screen names for you to play. It'll call somebody Cindy, somebody Marge, somebody Bob, whatever. And you'll be playing against 4 or 5 other just, computer people. But yes, that's a way. There's a way to do that, which that's advanced class too. You might be able to figure out on your own if you just go in and play around. But yeah, there is a way to do that. Like you said, if you're sitting at the airport, you can sit there and just play Kahoot games and see how you do. Yeah, there's so much you can do with this, and it really probably should be done in a series, I guess. So one last thing, let's see, where were we? We were talking about going to the Discover tab up top and being able to find Kahoots to play. What final questions does anybody have? There's so much more that we could talk about. And like I said, even though the beginning class and the advanced classes, I kind of gear those towards what the questions are. And it's really kind of hard because like today's group, we've got people that are all over the place with all kinds of knowledge levels as far as Kahoot goes. But to wrap it up, you should be able to go in and create your free account. And then once you've got your free account, log in and just take off playing with it. Okay. And take our Zoom classes and learn how to operate Zoom. And then it's like you're just putting all of this stuff together. You're going to be able to blow your grandkids away by like, hey, let's play Kahoot. Huh? What's Kahoot? You'll be able to really, impress your
really
family
kick their
members.
butts, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Let's try real quick. I want to try and just play that little Kahoot game one more time. So I'm going to go in here and do a screen share one last time here and see what we can get. Don't use the number. This is from the one that I just opened up to demo for you. I'm going to go back to my home page and I'm going to see if I can actually open up. I'm just curious to know if this is still going on or if Kahoot's got everything together finally. So I'm going to do the springtime trivia game one last time, even though we're over. If anybody needs to go, please feel free to go. I've used your hour of time already, but if you want to stay on, I'll see if I can launch this one right here. We'll go ahead and do play. Everybody will need to go to kahoot.it on their second device, or if you have the app, there's actually a Kahoot app, and all you have to do is just tap on the 4 colored squares, and you don't have to type in kahoot.it. If you get the Kahoot app, you can just look at the bottom, and across the bottom of the Kahoot app, there is there's a menu bar, and one of the things right in the middle is the 4 different colored squares. If you tap on that, it opens everything right up to where you can enter the PIN number and start playing right there without having to type in Kahoot.
Great.
So anybody who wants to play, feel free to sign in using this PIN number. Can you guys see the PIN number?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
if you want to play, this is just a quick 5-minute question. You can actually 5-minute Kahoot. You can see. I think we had one player that had never played before, so she can see how it actually goes and the scoreboard and things like that.
It looks like the problem ended.
Yep, it's working like it should now. I might have to send a question to support and ask them what was happening. Could very well be that there was a problem going on. I will say we finally set up Kahoot Game Hour, and the very first class is going to be on the 8th. Trying to remember what time. Let me look at my calendar while everybody's signing in. On the 8th, which is a Saturday, it's going to be 4 p.m. Central Time. So on the 8th, 4 p.m. Central Time, I'll have a Kahoot Hour class where everybody will play Kahoot. That's all we're going to do is play Kahoot games.
I'm so excited, Cindy. We got to do this weekly at least.
Yeah, and hopefully we will. The powers that be with Get Set Up they've agreed to do these, and I feel like the turnout will be very good. So as long as we have the interest, they're going to be doing them.
Well, Cindy, think how many of us you've trained.
There's a lot of people. Yeah. And what's good is we're getting, Get Set Up has grown so much. I've got so many new people on from yesterday and today that have never played or only played once or whatever. It's great because we were kind of getting to a point where everybody already knew the beginner and the advanced and everything, and they just wanted to play. So we've got a lot of competitive people.
Cindy, what time is the class? On the 8th? At what time?
It's at 4 o'clock Central Time. Not sure where you are, but it's right. It's on the 8th. At 5 o'clock your time.
Thank you.
So we got 5 people in here playing. We're going to be able to play. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start the game. Okay. So you're going to look at my screen for the question and the answer potentials. And then on your screen, you're going to actually tap the color of the answer for the correct answer. So here we go. This is springtime trivia, 5 questions. You have 20 seconds, I believe, to answer the questions. Here's number 1. Tap the color of the correct answer. There you go.
Solstice.
Don't say the answer. You're just going to help somebody else win. You got 3 seconds. Okay, the answer was vernal equinox. 2 people got that right. Now we're going to get to see the leaderboard. After the first question, here's your leaderboard. So we got Glow up front with FL Girl coming in 2nd place, and the other 3, there weren't any points. Either you didn't answer or you didn't get the right answer. So
that
the
was
difference,
a tricky one.
The difference here in these 2 scores is that Glow answered a little bit quicker than FL Girl. And so she got a little bit more points. Out of the possible 1,000, Glow got 836, FL Girl got 820. And there's no score for these 3 because they didn't get the answer right. Here we go to question number 2. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, 2 people got it right. That's March 21st. Now, if you noticed, when everybody in the game answers, the time clock automatically stops and it goes to the end because it doesn't waste those few seconds. We had, in fact, in 10 seconds, everybody had answered this one, even though we had 20 seconds. So here's your leaderboard now. FL Girl's up top and L moved up. Okay, here's the 3rd question.
I need coffee.
Wow.
Okay, 3 people got it right. Rises in the east, sets in the west.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's your leaderboard. Glow's moved up. Okay, here we go. Here's your 4th question next to the last question.
Rebirth.
Don't give the answer out. There you go. 5 people got it, and rebirth was the answer. Here's your leaderboard. Okay, there was change in points number only, not standing. Here's your last question. Last chance to get up top. Five seconds. There you go. 4 people got it right. Okay, so that's the end. Now here's our podium. 3rd place with 3 out of 5, we have Peace. 2nd place with 3 out of 5, but a little quicker, is Glow. And 5 out of 5, FL Girl. 5 out of 5.
That's Florida Girl.
Florida Girl. Who's Florida Girl?
Melinda.
There you go, Melinda. Okay, you won the game.
Congratulations.
It disconnected me and I had to reconnect.
And sometimes that happens depending upon your internet speed or things like that. Sometimes it's the device you're on, but for all of these who's never played before, that's a Kahoot game. That's how you play it. So it's so much fun. At Christmas, last Christmas, I had a very few of my immediate family members here, and I actually hooked my computer to my big TV screen, and they sat on the couch with their phones and played Kahoot with the big screen. So it was a lot of fun.
That's a good idea.
What a great idea,
It was
Cindy.
fun. So you guys, we're over time limit a little bit, but I know I took up about 15 minutes of the class time. We were troubleshooting email follow-ups. So any final questions for anybody that I can answer before I see you again in another class?
So you think that if you explore Kahoot.com, that is there a place where you can, it'll talk about how to play by yourself?
If you go into the, yes, there is. You have to be real familiar with the website, but there is a way where you can do that. Go in and create a Kahoot, and then when it pops up and says, what do you want to do with this Kahoot? Click test. And if you click on test, what happens, don't let this confuse you, it will actually throw up a picture of a phone on your computer screen. And on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll have the game going. And on the left-hand side, you'll see a phone. where you can answer, and you can actually play everything right there on your computer while you test it.
Oh,
so that's one way you could play. But Melinda, get on the app and play around with the app, and you'll see, you should see easily how to be able to sit there and play like if you're at the airport or something.
Okay. And when's your advanced?
I don't think they've scheduled an advanced one yet. They scheduled 2 weeks in a row, and I'm pretty sure
that's why I
there's
wanted
not.
to ask you today.
Yeah. Tell you what, you can go on the website, and where it says when you search for classes, you can actually now search for guides, and it will pull up, if you put a guide's name in there, it'll pull up the classes that they have scheduled so far, or what they're going to be having scheduled. But they schedule 2 weeks at a time. And let me check real quick and see.
You can probably search for Kahoot too, Cindy.
You absolutely can. I did that yesterday. You can just put Kahoot in there. And I think, Christine, it may even notify you when the next class is scheduled. So if you see,
they're supposed to. I don't know if they've worked out that glitch yet.
Yeah.
But at least either Cindy or Kahoot will bring her up.
Yeah.
The queen of Kahoot.
Let me check real quick here if I have one. I have another social hour brain games on the 7th. And then we have game hour on the 8th. So that's the only thing I see so far. They've not scheduled out any further than that. So hopefully one will be coming. If it's just a Kahoot for beginners, go ahead and join, and you can ask your questions. And sometimes it's very small classes, and we're actually able to turn in a beginner Kahoot game class into an advanced class. So I'm willing to do that too. Just kind of go with the flow of the class and what everybody needs.
Sandy, thanks so much for your extra time to let us get a game in. I'm glad Kahoot's working for you.
That was crazy. That was really cool. It was crazy.
Yes, Cindy, I have a real quick question.
Sure, Gina.
It's kept coming in as malware for me. My security wouldn't accept it. So can you check with them to find out what the problem was? Because yesterday I didn't have any problem at all.
Yeah, I can't imagine unless there was this last time. Were you able to play, Gina?
No.
It was still doing it?
Yeah, it looked like it was a virus that was getting ready to be downloaded on my phone.
Yeah, I don't know if you have any kind of software that you could scan your phone with or anything, but it sounds to me sounds like it's and it. Have you tried it since then? Is it still doing it? It sounds like it's something related to your phone.
Yeah, I scanned, and luckily I didn't link on to it, and I didn't accept it because I was just afraid I would download a virus.
Well, if you'd like, when we do the social hour brain games on Thursday, come in and join us again, and because we will play a couple of Kahoot games there, and you can try again and see, or actually you can try again then and see.
Okay, because yesterday wasn't a problem at all.
Yeah, that's weird. Were you guys seeing all of the names that were coming up as we were all signing on when that happened? Yeah. So I don't know what it was, but yeah, I can definitely send an email to support. Won't be able to communicate any information to you until I see you again online.
Oh, no, that's okay. No problem.
Yeah. Thanks, Gina. Sorry you're having that problem. Hope everything's okay.
No, yesterday was fun. So thank you.
Good. Okay. Well, guys, I'll let you guys go now. Thanks so much. And I hope to see you again.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Great class. Great class, Cindy.
Thank you. Lots of fun.
See y'all again soon.